Well, I'm going to talk about eco-terrorism.
Got too excited about jorts.
I'm leaving now with my Roomba or your blood on my hands.
I'm back on my bullshit.
What is meme if not air horn persevering?
No, this is not a family show.
And I quote, many American titties.
Why'd you have to bring Dane Cook to this, Andrew? No one wanted that.
Oh, you guys are not ready for what I've got today.
And I've apparently hit the very end of my attention span.
Give me like 30 seconds. I'm looking for rhymes. Hello and welcome to Debate This, the show where no one is right, but someone is definitely wrong. In this show, we take time out of our busy adult lives to talk about comic books, video games, and, this is going to be depressing, how the Morbius movie is the perfect metaphor for the end of the pandemic, in that it's always been 3 months away for 2 years now.
You've taken a bad thing, and you've made it even worse.
That is the worst thing. That's really the energy we're going to start season 5 with?
Matt, it's 8 a.m. where I am. Yes, that's the energy we're going to start season 5 with.
That's the energy I'm starting my 2022 with. So
Morbius is my favorite movie that's never coming out.
Yeah.
Morbius is also my favorite movie that's never coming out. And on this very happy note, allow me to formally welcome you all listeners to the newest wing of DT HQ, the Debate This Test Kitchen.
It smells great here.
Yeah, it's
like
beautiful.
New car and kitchen.
Yeah, it looks like a brand new YouTube set.
I really like that you put the exclamation point after Debate This and again after Test Kitchen.
Well,
He's
the
really
exclamation
excited.
point is in our branding.
Yeah, the
It's
brand,
true.
and then
Yeah.
he's really excited.
Yeah. So you may be asking, listeners, why are Debate This in a test kitchen, and why can't I see it? Well, to answer the first one, God King / Iron Chef Bobby Flay himself loved Matt's spot-on Eastern New Jersey accent so much in our last year's episode titled "Beat Bobby Blood Boy Flay" that Bobby Flay just straight up gifted us this state-of-the-art facility that is totally real and not made up. And here we are.
If you subscribe to the Patreon, stay tuned for the post show where we make Andrew say "beat Bobby Bloodboy Flay" 5 times fast without stopping.
And so joining me today are 3 of the world's most foremost expert in audibly recreating video game cuisine. Which, to be fair, are you guys not?
Okay, so I'll argue that we aren't, but also when you say most foremost, is that a double negative?
It's
ATM
I
machine?
think it's an ATM machine PIN number kind of thing. I think you just don't need it.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, but I wrote it in the script and it's staying in there because I'm in charge today.
The sentence, the most for experts, doesn't feel right either.
The first ever, or very first ever. Please welcome to the test kitchen, Todd evolves your Pokemon, Thomas, Matt makes Kirby invincible Cole, and Kyle lets you save the game in Donkey Kong Country, Harper. Who wants to guess?
I want to guess.
I know what it is.
It's what other candies do in other games.
Yeah,
That's
all things
correct.
Candy does.
It's all things Candy does.
What's the Donkey Kong one? That one I'm not
Candy
familiar
Kong.
with. Fuck you. Absolutely. Oh my
The
god.
eye roll that Todd just gave almost makes me wish this wasn't an audio medium.
I'm so mad because I do like the Donkey Kong lore because it's wild. But
Yeah.
I'm so mad.
Future Matt and future Kyle, we're going to need you to inject some very bright and non-obtrusive Great British Bake Off background noise right here. Perfect. Okay, gentlemen, today's competition is all about candy. Namely, the most famous candy in all of gaming. That's right, boys. Today's challenge will be to recreate the tastiest candy from Candy Crush Saga. Has anybody played Candy Crush Saga? Because I haven't.
I have never played Candy Crush Saga, no.
I played Candy Crush. I don't know if it was a saga at the time.
Perfect.
But before I had a smartphone days, I had Candy Crush on my iPod Touch to kill time while tearing tickets at the movie theater.
Well, I think that makes you, Kyle, the most foremost expert,
That will come out in my answers today, Andrew.
which was the correct utilization of that double expletive.
If the premise today would have been off of a different Facebook game, Farmville, you would have all been fucked. But no, I've got nothing.
Todd had a plantation on Farmville.
And I didn't like that. It was a mega farm. Mega farm.
I will plant my flag as the ground as a second-hand Candy Crush expert because my partner is a diehard addicted Candy Crush player, but I've never touched the Candy Crush. I've just watched over her shoulder.
Oh, I never touched the stuff.
You've just gotten contact highs from it.
I am not a social Candy Crusher, no.
Wait, does Maddie play Candy Crush in the year of our Lord 2022?
Every day, Kyle. Every single day. She told me today. She told me not 20 minutes ago that, listen, the thing about Candy Crush is it's all about watching some ads. Sometimes you just gotta watch some ads to get the extra 5 moves to finish the level. And even if you don't finish the level, you learn more about how to beat the level. She treats Candy Crush like a roguelike. She has turned Candy Crush into a roguelike.
Is Candy Crush a roguelike?
She has ad watching strats.
I don't know enough about Candy Crush to confidently say Candy Crush isn't a roguelike.
I mean, I believe it.
Candy Crush is an ad viewing app that has a cute, colorful game attached to it, if we're all being real with ourselves.
I guess the only difference between Candy Crush and Dark Souls is that Dark Souls doesn't have ads.
That's the only difference between those two games.
Oh, man.
All right, boys, let's begin with each of you introducing which of the famous candies from notoriously famous mobile game Candy Crush Saga that you have each created and why. And we'll start with Todd.
Yeah, this is a real easy one. So first off, shout out to Bobby Flay. What a guy. What a guy for putting this wing on our headquarters.
Matt, can we get a clean Bobby Flay take, please?
Yo, it's me, Bobby Flay from Beat Bobby Flay.
Perfect.
Anyway, Andrew and the other chefs that I think have to taste this, the judges, I don't know the premise, so yeah.
It's Great British Bake Off. Let's move on.
Gotcha. I'm bringing you just something special today and unique that I think it's really going to hit the spot of exactly what you, Andrew, and what anyone else may be looking for. So today I'm bringing you the Lucky Candy. So the thing about the Lucky Candy, so it's
going on the wiki to know what Todd is talking about. Okay, got it.
So you're going to glimpse into the orb. You're going to touch the orb. It's a perfectly round orb, and it's just appealing to all senses. So its appearance and just the way that it is, it's somehow just mysterious in its ability to always be exactly what you're looking for as far as like a taste profile. So what I'm telling you here today, Andrew, is that using the state-of-the-art kitchen appliances that have been brought to us by Bobby Flay, along with locally sourced fruits, and of course sugarcane in the raw, and maybe some secret ingredients, I really think the judges are going to consider themselves lucky to taste it today.
That wasn't a pun.
It was just a sentence with an emphasis. You're right.
You can't just say the name of the thing like it's a joke. It doesn't work like that.
No, I did. I said the name. I said the name of the thing.
Okay.
Got it out of me.
So as another person who is looking at the wiki, which, listener, it'll be linked in the show notes, but it's candycrush.
Yeah, we got you.
It has to be.
I am looking at the Lucky Candy, and I want to say that every Halloween, when the local news runs a story about check your kid's candy, your neighbors are trying to give them drug candy.
This is the drugs candy.
This is the drugs candy sure.
Yeah, listeners, if you ever get handed a singular translucent orb with a check mark on it from a neighbor at Halloween, don't eat it.
Throw it
There's
out.
drugs in that candy.
This is the drug candy, probably.
I have to say, I really like the texturing on the drug candy.
It is pretty nice.
It's almost like it's exactly what you're looking for when you want it.
Gentlemen, any response to Todd doing the "we have all the powers" candy?
It's a real Metal Dracula situation today.
Yep. We all were ready for Todd to do a Metal Dracula, and
Perfect.
I think it's old hat. I think people are tired of it, and I think.
But how do you get tired of something that's always what you want?
You don't always know what you want, Todd.
The heart does.
You haven't learned that lesson in life.
The heart knows.
Metal Dracula was so 2021, Todd. It's 2022 now. You need a new bit.
We'll have to figure out, when was Metal Dracula? I feel like that's like...
It was like 2018.
2018, yeah.
Anyway, listeners, one time I gave Dracula a metal cap and everyone got mad, so...
We're still a little mad about it. Matt, your turn.
Yeah, all right. So, guys, I'm here to talk to you about the jellyfish. Now, let me clarify. The jellyfish is not a jellyfish like a sack with twiddly bits. No, the jellyfish...
Tendrils, maybe, Matt?
Nope.
Tentacles, sure.
He used the scientific name for them, Todd. The twiddly bits.
Yeah.
Good point.
You need to learn your Latin.
Well, all right. The jellyfish. So the jellyfish, again, not your standard jellyfish, which you might expect it to be. No, it is like jelly, an adjective describing the word fish. It is a fish made of jelly.
It's a non-branded Swedish fish, you guys.
Okay, and Kyle, my friend, you have found the angle, right? Because we are recreating a famous candy from Candy Crush in a competition where I assume the goal is to make the tastiest candy. So what I want to point out to you guys today is that already top-tier candy, Swedish fish, exists here in the Candy Crush universe. And so we're going to recreate the jellyfish candy from Candy Crush, which is a special candy that I've learned a lot about in the last hour from the Wikipedia, and I would like to tell you some things about it.
How could you have learned a lot about it? There's like 5 lines on the...
Yeah, right?
Well, you must not
There's
have
less
gone...
than 20 words written about this candy.
Kyle, you didn't go to candycrush.fandom.com/wiki/jelly_fish_parentheses special_candy parentheses.
Great.
You're right.
I'm there now.
Because that is the full page about the jellyfish.
There's a lot of information about the jellyfish.
Yeah, there really is. Anyway, so the jellyfish is a special candy. Sometimes it appears at start screens, but only after level 2406. Before that, it was only available in jelly levels. And the other thing that you need to know, apparently, about the jellyfish is since level 41, it can appear in any level type and also in marmalade. I don't know what that means. But what I do know is that also in the Candy Crush world, there are bobbers in some levels that are like boat themed, water themed, dock themed. I think it's dock themed. There are bobbers that when you're sitting on the dock of the bay, you can activate to give you jellyfish. So the jellyfish in real life, in here, our Earth, Swedish fish, top tier level candy. In jellyfish Candy Crush land, mystic special candy that you only get sometimes spawned out of bobbers. So what I'm saying is that we're going to recreate a Swedish fish for you today, but in the realm of Candy Crush, this is mystic and special.
I think I have questions, but I'm going to hold on to them because I think you might paint yourself into a corner, and that's when I'll spring them on you.
I don't think so, Todd. I think I'm in a wide open field, a wide open field of jellyfish.
A jellyfish field, if you will.
But like fish made of jelly.
Yes, fish made of jelly. Specifically, what I'm going to recreate today is the blue one, and that's important, but we'll get to that later.
Not lanky tentacle bits or whatever you call them.
Twiddly bits.
Twiddly
Todd,
bits.
come on.
Oh, sorry. I don't have the wiki open.
I do want to call out that it's really important that the wiki, that candycrush.fandom.com/wiki/jelly_fish_parentheses special_candy and parentheses specially calls out that jelly space fish should not be confused with one word jellyfish the character, which is a sentient jellyfish with the aforementioned twiddly bits. So, important.
That really seems like lazy design.
Can you run that again real quick, Andrew? I don't think I caught it.
All right, Kyle. Back to you.
Andrew, judges, today I have brought you not only my favorite candy from the Candy Crush saga, but a little bit of a game. I'm making for you and the judges today the mystery candy. You'll recognize it by its egg shape and its green question mark on the outside. But the fantastic thing about this candy is you don't know what it's going to taste like until you bite into it. It could be anything. It could even be the lucky candy or the blue jellyfish. We don't know. It's a mystery.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the mystery candy. You in game, you don't know what it does until you drop it into the level. It is usually good, but sometimes, not unlike jelly beans or other mystery flavors, it's sometimes very bad. And you guys might be asking, why would I bring a potentially bad candy to this competition? And to that I say, that's the fun of the mystery candy, guys. It adds a little bit of danger, and that's what I'm bringing to the table today.
So is this mystery like it's a wild card, or is this mystery like the Dum Dums Lollipop mystery, which is just the end of the batch of the syrup?
I was gonna ask the same question, so here we are.
It is a little of column A and a little of column B.
Okay.
We definitely slap that mystery candy wrapper on our ambiguous sludge as we swap flavors in the candy machine, but also sometimes we put licorice with spicy cinnamon candy and see how it tastes and call that the same thing too.
Stop. Question 1 answered, Kyle. Licorice with cinnamon, whatever you said?
It's a mystery candy, Todd. Doesn't have to make sense. There's no logic to it. It's a mystery. We just got to keep you guessing.
You hold him back. I'm calling the police.
Yeah. Okay, so if Todd's candy definitely had drugs in it, Kyle's candy is scary drugs.
Well, Kyle's candy is like you put all of your drugs in a bag, and then you pulled out 3 drugs and made a candy of those 3 drugs.
It could be a happy edible, or it could be a heroin needle. It could be any kind of drug.
And that's the fun of the game, Matt. Wow, I said mine joking, and then Kyle said it for real.
Todd's candy are like fun hallucinogenics. Kyle's candy are like you just took a bunch of pill bottles and like dumped them all out on the table, so it's like heartworm medicine.
There's heartworm medicine next to the Oxycontin, next to the Viagra. Which one are you going to grab?
Yeah.
You don't know.
What kind of Saturday night do you want to have?
Never a good one. All right, so if I may summarize this, we've got magical Swedish fish, mystical Swedish fish, which among the 3 is, I think at this point, the one that I can wrap my head around the most.
Definitely not drugs.
Because Todd's is what the answer is. Todd's candy, lucky candy, is whatever I want it to be. And then Kyle's candy, the mystery candy, is whatever Kyle wants it to be. Am I right?
I appreciate that you think I have that level of control over the mystery candy, Andrew. It's truly a mystery to us all.
Whatever fate wants it to be.
Yes.
I really am sandwiched between the mystery Dum Dum and the white airheads.
Oh, yeah. Aren't white airheads just like blue raspberry with banana? Isn't that?
I think their flavors are intentional, where the Dum Dums are actually, this is what's left.
Yeah.
They're the breadsticks of the Dum Dum.
We're
canon.
pushing a new flavor through the sucker.
What?
Through the sucker
Wait.
maker.
Shut up. Hold on. They're the breadsticks of the Dum Dum canon?
Yeah. Like how like Pizza Hut and Little Caesars, they make their breadsticks by like the discarded dough that like they don't have enough dough to make the pizza. That's how like Dum Dums is just like the syrup that they don't have enough syrup to do one flavor, so they just all mash it all together.
That's 100% not how those 2 establishments make breadsticks anymore. But
all right, prompt number 2. I'm reading from the script now, and we're not talking about breadsticks. You've all done a great job, or whatever, recreating these iconic candies from everyone's mom's favorite mobile game, Candy Crush Saga. But gentlemen, here's the thing. All of this discussion around Candy Crush Saga has sparked the interest of Great British Bake Off alum and notorious Candy Crush fan, Paul Hollywood, who, one might say, is the British Bobby Flay. One might say. Anyway, he's on his way here right now to judge these entrants. So I need each of you to tell me why your candy is better compared to the absolute slop that was just made by your other 2 competitors. And we will start with Todd.
Hey, Paul Hollywood, who
he's not here yet.
Know who that is.
He's not here yet.
I didn't Google who that is before we recorded. Yeah, so here's the thing. So if we're talking about what our candies do, because this is Candy Crush, and I'm guessing we're at some point going to talk about what our candies do. Maybe that's how this works.
Yeah,
I don't know,
talk about what your candies do and how it's better than the other 2.
Yeah,
this is exactly what I said.
Well, great, thank you. Here's the thing. So I get that like Matt's jellyfish does like some neat parlor tricks where it eats other candies once it is made into a line of jellyfish, I think. And that's cool and functional if you want your candies eaten. And Kyle's could also happen to just end up being Matt's jellyfish that also ends up eating more candies as it's put together, or it could be vomit candy. I don't know. Who's to say?
That's the fun of the mystery candy, Todd.
The thing, you either know what you're getting and it's not great, or you don't know what you're getting and it could easily be not great. The thing about the lucky candy is it looks inward to what you desire most and it gives it to you. You know, Paul Hollywood, are you looking to experience the rich taste of a chocolate donut with? Oh, he's okay. Well, I'm practicing this in the mirror until he gets here.
Perfect.
Okay, Todd, say this to Paul Hollywood when he gets here. Okay, Paul Hollywood, do you know that? Do you want like the rich taste of a donut with sprinkles? Well, Lucky Candy will give that to you if you break it. What about like some rich buttery popcorn? Lucky Candy will give that to you if you crush it as well. If your heart desires jellyfish, you get it. And let me specify. That can either be fish made of jelly or the sentient Twiddly bits kind of thing. If that's what you really want, Lucky Candy will give that to you. Because it knows what you want and it wants you to be happy and fulfilled.
How does the Lucky Candy know what I want when I don't know what I want, Todd?
Same question.
Yeah, using only the ingredients of the test kitchen we've been given, I don't know how the Eldritch magic comes together, but it does. And it's best not to question
So
it.
you're chastising me for not knowing my candy, where you can make the same claim. You don't know how your candy...
I never said anything cross about you not knowing how yours gets made. It's that you know yours could easily be bad and you continue to do it.
Where does the lucky start and the mystery end?
Well, I mean...
That's what I hope to get into today.
There certainly is an overarching air of mystery to the Lucky Candy.
You guys came to play a cute candy game, and I brought an existential crisis. So
what is lucky if not mystery persevering?
The thing, once you've cracked the Lucky Candy, it gives you what you want, which is incredibly satisfying, as we've joked about in your 30s when no one knows what they want. To suddenly have something make the decision for you of like, no, this is actually what you want, and you're fulfilled in knowing that it's right. Embrace the Lucky Candy.
Okay.
Is it my turn now?
Sure.
How horrible is it that Todd is promising you exactly what you want, and our overwhelming reaction is...
Well, look, guys, I'm almost 34, and society, marketing, and commercials and advertising have been promising me exactly what I've wanted for 34 years. Haven't gotten it yet, so I'll remain skeptical. Matt, go ahead.
Andrew's writing my arguments for me.
So, okay, you want to talk about Andrew writing your arguments for you. Andrew, I want to read back to you the last sentence of the question you just asked us. I need each of you to tell me why your candy is better compared to the absolute slop made by your other two competitors. And Andrew,
that is what I said.
I am here to point out that in that sentence, the two nouns are candy and slop. I brought you a candy. The other two have literally brought you a slop of flavor. A slop of leftover flavor and nothing. I'm the only one who brought you an actual candy today. But I do want to talk a little bit about why this candy is the best. Mainly because it's smart candy. Now, this isn't like it knows what you want.
It tracks your data. It tracks your data.
So this
That's going to track your data with this candy.
It's not trying to sell your data. It's just utilizing cookies.
Maybe.
Anyway, this jellyfish, when activated, it swims off and eats 3 objective candies. Now, what are objective candies, you might be asking? I don't really know because I haven't played the game.
Pick my hand. Pick my hand. I know this one.
All right, go ahead, Todd.
Yeah, objective candy. So in the higher, let me just push up my Candy Crush glasses. In the higher levels of Candy Crush, you have objectives. Like you have to clear out blocks or certain candies.
You have quests.
And
you gotta get the Chivos.
Yeah, and they're typically like pretty tough to get to. Like you have to break down a certain number of candies to get to it. So it's very helpful that your jellyfish candy will go and hunt them down. However, you sometimes have to wait for them to show up, which would render your jellyfish candies unhelpful. However, if you crush a lucky candy, it becomes an objective. It does it because it knows you need it.
I can't think of anything more upsetting than sitting down, getting ready to eat what I assume is my favorite candy because I bought the jellyfish and not some other candy, and having it swim away from me. That sounds absolutely horrible and like it would ruin my night.
Yeah.
So,
Kyle, I can't imagine sitting down to eat a candy that I just spent a lot of money on and not knowing what the flavor is and biting down on it.
people eat jelly beans every year at Easter, Matt.
Yeah, and they're perverts.
Jelly beans are the most popular Easter candy.
Yeah, but not the gross ones from Harry Potter Land or whatever.
Okay, is it worse to have no candy or to have vomit candy? I would argue it's the vomit candy. But you know what's better than both of those? Getting exactly what you want. Exactly what your heart desires. Anyway, keep going, Matt.
Collecting your data. Todd is the one collecting your data, first off. Second off, my candy isn't smart like an Amazon Alexa that listens to you and sells your secrets.
You have the
to
only
government.
sentient candy that swims off to do something.
My candy is smart like a robot vacuum, and as a proud owner of a robot vacuum, I can tell you it is A, just as smart as it needs to be, and B, not smart enough to not get stuck every once in a while. The jellyfish candy, perfect amount of smart for a smart appliance. However, what I really want to double down on here has nothing to do with the game itself. Andrew, I want to step into this bit with you, and I want to tell you how I'm going to impress Paul Hollywood. Now, again, already discussed, we all agree that here in the real world, Swedish Fish, top tier candy. It is an objectively good
We never agreed
we
that,
haven't
but move on.
established
candy.
that.
Now, in the Candy Crush world, you can get jellyfish of any color. So step back into the real world, we all know that the best color of any colored candy is always blue. Blue is the best flavor, right? And so in Candy Crush, you can get specifically a blue jellyfish. And imagine, Andrew, top tier candy Swedish Fish, top tier flavor blue Swedish Fish, gonna blow the socks off Paul Hollywood.
I have a question.
Hit me.
And I am here to agree with you that Swedish Fish is a very, very good flavor. It has been replicated by a number of things, like sports drinks. Like, there's pre-workout that is Swedish Fish flavored. I get that. They hand it out to marathon runners. Get it. Matt.
Todd.
What flavor is Swedish Fish?
Swedish Fish flavor? What do you mean?
Swedish.
What is the... Okay, here's my question. What is the flavor profile of Swedish Fish? And what is the flavor profile of blue Swedish Fish?
Well, so that's the thing, right? Is like,
it's a mystery, and if I know what I want, my lucky candy gets me that blue Swedish Fish flavor that is just chef's kiss and perfect.
What I'm telling you, Todd, is that everybody knows what the flavor of blue raspberry is. Nobody knows how to describe that flavor profile. You just know that if you taste blue raspberry, you're like, oh, it's blue. Like, that's the blue flavor. Gatorade.
See, that's where I would have
Gummy
gone
bears,
that.
other blue examples, Kool-Aid. It all just tastes blue. And I'm just saying Swedish Fish just tastes like Swedish Fish.
If you really want to know what the actual flavor of Swedish Fish is, apparently it's lingonberry.
Lingonberry.
Huh.
Lingonberry.
Well, we all learned something today.
Wow. The more you know.
So is this blue lingonberry?
Yes! Blue lingonberry. That's where we're landed.
Well, we're going to find out if the internet has
blue lingonberry. Thank you.
Not to throw more fuel on the philosophical fire, but
The philosopher?
The philosopher. But if the opposite of an objective candy is a subjective candy, then and jellyfish can only eat objective candies, one could argue that both Kyle and Todd's candy are only subjective candies.
This is true. Our candies are
like
impervious.
Where this is gone.
Our candies are impervious to the powers of the blue jellyfish.
Yeah, my candy becomes an objective candy, so it really isn't one.
We should move on to Kyle. I can't
Kyle,
do this to this
go
early
ahead.
in the morning.
So, Andrew, what sets my candy apart from my two competitors is, as I keep iterating, the call of the unknown. With Matt, you know exactly We all, like he said, we know exactly what a blue Swedish fish is gonna taste like. You can go down to the store right now and pick some up, and it's not gonna be any different than what Matt is serving you up today. And Todd, he's promising you exactly what you want, which is what every corporation and company has been promising you since the day you were born, Andrew. And have they delivered yet?
Never.
Precisely. Hollow, empty promises, and what you already have are what my competitors brought to you today. Mystery candy could taste like anything. It could be bad. We're focusing on the wrong part of that. It could be the best thing you have ever put in your mouth, ever. It could taste like golden chocolate vanilla rainbows. Like, imagine that, Andrew. That's what the mystery candy promises. A real mystery. Something you may never have experienced before and may never experience again. Sure, you might bite into it and just get a blue Swedish fish flavor, but that's good. We know what we like blue Swedish fish. That's fine.
Were you about to say we know what blue Swedish fish tastes like? Because I would argue the entire ramblings
specifically do not.
We don't know, and we hope it's good.
Blue lingonberry.
Blinkenberry.
Blinkenberry. Well, it's only Blinkenberry if it's from the Blinken region.
So that's what the mystery candy is bringing, Andrew. No empty promises. It's delivering exactly what it says. A mystery.
Good.
No notes.
I'm going to turn this bus around by closing statements.
All right. The producers, not only are the producers incredibly confused and can't stop pontificating the idea of subjective candy versus objective reality, they're also getting a little bit bored with this friendly competition. They feel like they want to really get that Fox reality show energy in here by just injecting tension. We're gonna have some crazy cutaways, some confessionals, some inserted in. You know what they do that in like Fox reality shows. You know. Okay. Now Paul Hollywood is almost here. He got stuck in traffic, so we got some time, and we got to manufacture that drama. So I'm going to turn my back, and I'm going to allow each of you to just low-key sabotage your two competitors' creations. I want you to tell our audience, whilst my back is turned, how you're eliminating the competition. And while I'm going to sit here and plug my fingers in my ears, I don't know why I felt the need to actually put my fingers on my headphones. Mm-hmm. That wasn't relevant or necessary, but here we are. Go. Matt, Todd.
Yeah, this one's good. This one's super easy because though I've not played Candy Crush, nor do I watch Fox reality shows, my grandmother mainlines
sabotage.
Yeah, my grandmother mainlines both. So this is super simple stuff. So we're gonna start with Kyle. So if you recall, Matt made some bold statements about what top tier candy is and is not, and that's up for debate.
Frankly, irresponsible statements, Todd.
Yeah, reckless statements. So I'm going to go the other way and talk about some agreed upon bad candy flavoring. And so to ruin Kyle's candy, all that's necessary is artificial banana flavoring.
Whoa!
And maybe, if we can get it in there, some additional heat and air if possible. And now, if you're asking why that would ruin a candy, I'll tell you, those are just some of the major ingredients and steps into creating circus peanuts. What is agreed upon to be one of the worst candies ever on earth. That is a candy that anyone can agree is in the short list of bad candies.
You know what I love about the mystery candy, though, Todd? You don't know that adding those things isn't going to improve it because it's a mystery.
Kyle, I am.
You don't know
I say this with more. No, Kyle. I say this with more confidence than I said anything on this podcast ever. That I am positive if you add artificial banana flavoring to anything, it will get worse.
See, I like banana runts.
I'm also with Matt that banana Laffy Taffy.
Yeah,
pretty good candy. Like that's a B- candy.
I'll be honest. I agree with you. Circus peanuts are trash.
Did you know circus peanuts are banana flavored?
That doesn't surprise me now hearing it out loud.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever gotten past the texture of a circus peanut to really pay attention to the
Eating
flavor.
A soft packing peanut, I don't want in that. Hey, anyway, that's not the point. So Matt's turn now. So for Matt, it has to be a little bit different and more targeted, but less complex. I just need to introduce a small amount of any of the following fruits, specifically their juices. So that could be kiwi, papaya, or what is likely more available, pineapple. So you see, Matt's jelly-based fish is exactly that. It's a jelly. And the enzymes from those fruits will immediately break down the protein molecules that keep that jelly from setting. The only way this doesn't work is if Matt is actually arguing that it's not a jelly-based fish and it is a fish-based jelly. And if that's the case, then I'm calling the police right now, and they're on their way, and you're all going to jail.
Did we just ascend ourselves into another episode of Talking Tungsten with Todd Thomas?
I'm here to talk about the logistics of a fish-based jelly, right?
I will not die on the hill of fish-based jelly.
All
I
right,
won't even go on that hill with
then
you.
You get a runny soup.
It's already a food. It's called an aspic.
An ass pick?
An aspic is a jelly.
That's gonna be Norwegian.
A gelatin made out of meat protein. Yes.
Oh.
It's a delicacy.
Anyway, enzymes of those fruit break down jellies. It can't said it's nothing. It's poop.
Okay.
I'm currently walking around the kitchen just punching the air.
I don't really have much to say about the whole introducing acid to my jellyfish.
Fruit juice.
Juice.
Simple fruit juice ruins it, yeah.
I don't really have much to say other than to quote the wiki where it says jellyfish can also appear in marmalade. Now, I don't exactly know what that means, but I do know that marmalade is pretty much just like soupy or jelly, soupy or chunky or jelly. So if you make my jellyfish soupy chunky, I think that I can just call that marmalade, and I think that I'm still okay.
So it is then objectively not a jellyfish.
Someone is yelling what marmalade and jelly and jam
right about that.
are at our podcast. I want to say marmalade is jelly made with the skins, like the rinds are left in to make marmalade.
Yeah, marmalades are jellies that contain pieces of citrus fruit.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So weren't you just saying, Todd, that you wanted to add citric fruit to my jelly?
I don't believe that kiwi, papaya, or pineapple are actually citrus fruits.
Really?
He's got you there, Matt.
They're specifically listed as they break down jellies due to their proteins. Their enzymes.
It's a tangelo.
Pineapple a citrus fruit.
This is my favorite thing we do in this stupid video game podcast where we stumble upon new bits of information that are immediately not relevant as soon as we log off.
Okay, so pineapple's definitely not citrus.
Yeah.
Papaya, not citrus.
3 for
and
3.
Kiwi?
There's no way.
No, not. Okay, you got me there. I didn't really know enough about fruits to argue with you, I'm not gonna lie.
The John Cena music is playing in my head right now.
Matt, you want to redeem yourself?
I do. Okay, so here's the thing. It is so incredibly easy for me to sabotage these two. I don't even need to acquire extra fruit or extra ingredients at all to sabotage these two, because what they've brought is so wishy-washy. So Todd's whole concept is it brings exactly what you need, right? Exactly what I need is for Todd's candy to be worse than mine. So all I need to do is interact with Todd's candy, and it is immediately worse than mine. No way around it, because it becomes, as Todd said, exactly what I need. Now, Kyle is going to go down in a very similar fashion, because, Andrew, are you familiar with Schrodinger's cat and the concept of Schrodinger's box?
I am familiar with this other philosophical term.
Yeah, a thought experiment that illustrates a paradox of quantum superposition, where things only change or obtain a state when they become observed. So for Kyle, I would say that his mystery candy only remains a mystery until you observe, until you open Schrodinger's box, right? And then the cat becomes dead. Now, Kyle's whole argument here is based on revealing this mystery to Paul Hollywood. So if I were to observe in any fashion Kyle's mystery candy, then it would suddenly become a dead cat. It would just become a thing. And it might be something dumb like a red wrapped candy, Or it could be something terrible like the orange special basketball candy, which didn't even do anything special. It was just shaped like a basketball. There's actually one shaped like a dumbbell.
I thought you were going to reference the coconut wheel, which sounds terrible.
Yeah, it could become a coconut wheel. It could become any of these things. All I have to do is momentarily observe Kyle's candy, and then by this paradox of quantum superposition, it would become something, and Kyle would lose his mystery.
Except that every mystery candy is different. The mystery candy you are tasting and observing is going to be different than the one I'm giving to Paul Hollywood. That's ridiculous.
Could be better or worse.
I thought we were just like, we were making a candy for Paul Hollywood. Like, I just have to observe. I'm sabotaging the candy you made for Paul Hollywood.
Yeah, you're sabotaging.
I don't know the math to get my mystery candy recipe down to one little candy, Matt. I'm making a batch of candy and letting Paul Hollywood pick from the batch.
Look, the hold on. Let me explain. The prompt is you have to make a candy for Paul Hollywood, but if you want to try to incept Paul Hollywood to make him think that he is not eating candy, and you're able to successfully do that, you can certainly do that. This is a Fox reality show now.
I am confused. So when you make a batch of these, are they each a different flavor, or are they all just really a big bag of one mystery flavor?
That's the mystery, Todd.
The fucking worst answer.
Take a sip of coffee, sets down cup in victory.
We should also note that it is early for us on the East Coast. It is 2 hours earlier for Kyle. This is what you're getting. All right, Kyle, do whatever.
All right, how I'm sabotaging these candies? Easy peasy. Todd, the lucky candy. I'm hiding the crack cocaine that I'm assuming Todd puts in his lucky candy to make it
taking a drink
to make it whatever you want it to be. I'm assuming it's drugs, it's morphine or something. I'm just dumping that down the sink. Todd's lost his magic sparkle. He's just got regular like compressed sugar now, which will be fine, but it isn't winning any competitions. And then to sabotage Matt, we all know the appeal of any blue candy is not the flavor that comes out of it, because we don't know what that tastes like. The appeal is that electric blue color hitting your eyes as you put it into your mouth. So to sabotage the blue jellyfish, I'm going to add a lot of orange lingonberries to his recipe when he's not looking to muddy that color and make it so they come out a nice brown jellyfish that is going to be appealing to no one and instantly lose the charm of eating a blue jelly candy.
Well, in Candy Crush, jellyfish work like real candies where they only work if you match them with their color. So I think by the logic of Candy Crush, you are physically incapable of adding orange lingonberries to my blue lingonberries.
They won't combine.
It just won't combine.
It won't combine.
It's like an oil and water situation.
What happens when you make a recipe where the ingredients won't combine, Matt? You get a horrible mess. So
well, I can just like
sabotage
strain out the orange lingonberries, Kyle.
You're arguing candy logic, and I'm talking about lingonberries. They're two completely different logics, Matt. The lingonberries will mix, even if the candies will not. It's not a candy until you've finished the recipe.
God, now I have to Google what a lingonberry actually is.
Apparently they can grow in Ohio.
No shit.
Cool.
They look like the inside of pomegranates.
Yeah.
Weird.
Well, guys, I have good news and bad news. The good news is that Paul Hollywood is here, but the bad news is that while Matt was Googling what lingonberries are, because now that can't be cut out of the audio, Paul has sampled each one of your candies, and surprise, he hates them. And that's probably because we let each of you fuck up each other's candies. And here's the thing. Anybody who's watched the Great British Bake Off knows if Paul Hollywood hates two things, it's bananas and fake cocaine. So he's going to give each of you one last chance to impress him by incorporating your chosen candy into a pastry and or dessert of your own choice. Bakers, go forth and bake, and we will review your new concoctions after the break.
Hey, are you ready for Mephisto to be in this show? Because he's gonna be in this show.
From the nerds that debate this comes The Plus is Loose, a podcast where we break down every episode of the latest MCU shows being aired on Disney+.
Dottie was going to be the embodiment of Mephisto.
I feel very strongly that whether it was Mephisto...
I do not think this is Mephisto.
This is Mephisto.
I'm Mephisto, you Mephisto. I'm going to keep saying Mephisto. Or Mephisto, shards of Mephisto.
Mephisto.
It's Mephisto. How many times can we say Mephisto in this podcast?
Each week, we talk through plot details, Easter eggs, and our own predictions for how the shows will end.
Her husband, who she talks about but we've yet to see, is likely going to be Mephisto.
He, she, me, Mephisto.
The mailman is Mephisto.
Everyone is Mephisto.
Mephistology, the study of Mephisto.
Okay, so let's talk about this Mephisto bit.
Schindler's Mephisto.
Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you download podcasts.
What we didn't get were any Mephisto sightings.
I'll be at the bar drinking a beer and waiting for Mephisto to show up.
Everybody, welcome back. Cut to B-roll of pleasant music and probably a cascading waterfall or something that's really pleasing to the eyes.
British countrysides.
Yeah, British countryside.
B-roll of sheep somewhere. Yeah.
Oh yeah, we gotta have that sheep, that good sheep B-roll. We gotta get on that. All right, so gentlemen, we've given you X amount of time to prepare your pastries and/or desserts by incorporating your chosen Candy Crush Saga candies to present to Mr. Paul Hollywood. Todd, what are you presenting today?
This was also, took some creative thinking, but I think we came to something really great. And that is, everyone loves 7-layer bars, right? Like, it's a bar filled with just like the best shit you've ever had. Who knows what all 7 layers are? You couldn't name them right now. I couldn't. One of them's chocolate. Anyway, so what we are doing is we are creating an 8-layer bar. And the 8th layer is pieces of Lucky Candy. And so,
Todd, that's too many layers. Your bar is structurally unsound. You madman.
The nerds at R&D, they tried it out, and you know, most of the experiments were successful. And so what this is that 8th flavor is going to complement whatever those other 7 flavors are. This dessert is like improv jazz for your taste buds. It's just going to be like, you don't know what's coming next. Like, boom, ba, ba, but here it comes, and it's good. You never know what's next, but each flavor note will be better and builds upon the one before it, and that is 8-layer bars. It has a lot of the same energy of that, like, 7-minute abs, where it's like, no, I'm going to come up with 6-minute abs. Like, it's that.
Yeah, much like Icarus, Todd may or may not be flying too close to the sun.
Now, 9-layer bars, madness.
Matt, what have you prepared for Paul?
Well, Andrew / Paul Hollywood, I would like to gift you a lingonberry jam tart with cardamom, something that personally I think sounds pretty delicious, and some would describe as an easy one-bowl Scandinavian-inspired shortbread crumble tart with a fabulous flavor combo. Some might even say that they would sidetrack their diet for a second slice, and it will be worth it.
What recipe website are you on right now, Matt?
TheViewFromGreatIsland.com, Kyle.
Oh my
Perfect.
God.
Check the show notes for a link.
All right. Kyle?
Well, Andrew, in keeping with theme, I'm making a pastry also with an air of mystery to it. So I am making my famous mystery candy King's Bread. For those of you unaware, King's Bread is a Christmas pastry. It's sweet bread jam-packed with candies. And if you cut open the piece that has the tiny toy baby Jesus in it, you win. You win the King's Bread, and apparently you have to throw a party in February for everyone.
Is that the Mardi Gras cake?
It's Mardi Gras
Yes.
does a variation of it,
Okay.
but the tradition began with Christmas.
Oh.
So I'm making my King's Bread. There will be one piece of mystery candy hidden in the King's Bread, surrounded by, I guess, blue jellyfish and Todd's Lucky Candy. So if you find the mystery piece, you win and get to throw a party for all of your friends.
How many people a year do you think choke on plastic Jesuses?
I think it's like
A non-zero
I think
amount.
it's
For sure.
just above choking hazard size. I think it's
The plastic Jesus has some heft.
yeah.
That sounds like you're not having a solution. You're creating a challenge. Like,
All right, guys. Well, while Paul Hollywood noms down on all of your perfectly concocted creations, we're going to change up closing statements a little bit because our producers just got so enthralled with the thought experiments, and they've asked me to pitch something to you. So, gentlemen, in lieu of formal closing statements, I want each of you to answer this question. If Paul Hollywood eats a candy in the forest, but no one is around to see it, did Paul Hollywood eat that candy? Todd.
Yes. Does a Paul Hollywood shit in the woods? The answers are one and the same. If he has to, he will. What the fuck?
Matt.
So the question is, if Paul Hollywood eats a candy in the woods and no one is around to see him eat that candy, does he eat that candy?
Correct.
Yeah, I think Paul Hollywood is a man of taste. I don't think he would turn down a candy. I believe in the fortitude of Paul Hollywood's gut and his ability to consume unrelented by the viewership of his consumption. Paul Hollywood eats that candy.
Perfect.
I think we're also forgetting the layer of, is he eating it for survival? Is he alone in the woods and he's lost, and for sustenance he must eat said candy? And that answer's yes.
Mm-hmm. Kyle, what do you think?
I'm going to take Paul Hollywood at his word. If Paul Hollywood said he ate that candy, then yeah, believe all Paul's. He ate that candy.
Hashtag believe all Paul.
Unless Paul's been accused of anything unsavory that I don't, then don't believe Paul and believe the people accusing him of things. But in the case of did he eat candy in the woods, I believe Paul ate candy. Andrew, I have a question to pose back to you, though.
Of course.
What is the sound of one Paul Hollywood clapping?
Well, it is much like your candies. It is subjective.
Wait, I've got one too. Okay, so Paul Hollywood and his son Paul Hollywood are in a car accident, and Paul Hollywood dies, and he goes to the hospital.
It's the mom. It's the mom.
Says,
Let's move on.
I'm Paul Hollywood. I'm Paul Hollywood.
Two Paul Hollywoods leave the train station at the same time. One Paul Hollywood is going 100 miles an hour. One Paul Hollywood is going 60 miles an hour. Where do those Paul Hollywoods
leaves
meet?
from Hollywood, California. One Paul Hollywood leaves from St. Paul, Minnesota. Where does the Paul Hollywood from Hollywood and the Paul Hollywood from St. Paul become St. Paul Hollywood?
What?
I got one more. I got one more. Then we're done.
Down a chimney up, but can't go up a chimney down.
I got one more. Then we're done. Paul Hollywood's doctor tells him to watch Great British Bake Off, and Paul Hollywood says, "But doctor, I am Paul Hollywood." Anyway, let's stop this and go with good vibes.
Oh, this was really fun. Man, in the list of the things we should do to open the season, I didn't think Candy Crush would be the one, and I'm really happy it was, because this was dumb and it's fun, and it gives me a lot of hope for what we're gonna do in the remainder of the year. Hope and concern, I think, equal parts.
Yeah.
It's 1 part hope,
mostly.
Yeah, it's 1 part hope, 2 part concern, cooked at a medium-low temperature to a simmer. Oh yeah, you guys did cool shit. That's what I meant to say here. The jellyfish, but it is jelly and not fish. That was a very, very good candy. That's what brought me to Lucky Candy, because on the candycrushfandom.com/wiki/candies, the green Lucky Candy is just 2 below jellyfish. And Kyle, I never got to mystery candy. That is a type of chaos that I can't go for, but I think you did a really good job arguing for a thing that could be sugar and could be poop. The fact that you weren't immediately discounted right out of the gate really says something for the argument you brought here today.
We all love a good mystery, Todd.
Even the poop one.
Yeah, this was a wild ride. Our ability to turn a conversation about Candy Crush into a philosophical conversation about subatomic superposition or quantum superposition or whatever is real reason why we shouldn't record before noon. But this was great. Todd, I expect nothing less of you to come with a Metal Dracula answer for a season premiere episode. Great job. Kyle, unhinged chaos is the only thing I can say about the mystery candy, but I think that when I was a kid and I was leaving the doctor's office and they would offer me a Dum Dum lollipop, I would grab the mystery flavor more than I would grab any other flavor.
Damn right you
and
would.
I gotta give you that, man. That's good tactics. So good job all around.
The mystery box could be anything. It could even be a boat. It's good vibes, and it's my turn. Guys, we did it. We opened the season. We brought that wild, chaotic, manic energy that we all strive to achieve for our season opener, and I'm proud of us all. Todd, you chased the same thread I did, but you didn't want any bad vibes in your answer, and I respect that decision. But if anything, 2020 and 2021 led me to believe that we can't avoid the bad vibes. We just have to deal with them. And Matt, blue Swedish fish is a top tier candy, and it's probably the second best actually the second best candy of the Candy Crush candies after the Color Bomb.
Yeah,
because that's the only chocolate one, and everyone knows chocolate is better than fruit flavored candy. But no one brought chocolate, so that didn't come up. So good job to you as well.
Excellent job, everybody. So let me talk you through what happened. So Paul has now officially tasted all three of the concoctions. Paul's immediate reaction to the 8-layer bar, he bit into it. Todd's 8-layer bar, lucky candy 8-layer bar. Excuse me. Paul looked left, looked right, and then, much like Jesus at the temple, Paul flipped the tables and screamed, "It's too many layers," and became enraged.
Can he name which one of the 8 layers, which of the late
put him
the 8
over
layers?
the edge?
It's hard to say.
It was the nougat, wasn't it?
It's hard to say. In his barbarian-like rage, he's very inconsolable and he's Todd, barely saying any words.
It was the shredded coconut. It's always the shredded coconut.
It had to have been the shredded. Yeah, that's on me.
To then kind of calm himself down, Paul thought of his favorite childhood movie, which is of course Ghostbusters. Unfortunately, Paul bit into the mystery candy king cake. While he very much enjoyed it, he fell victim to the exact thing that happens at the end of Ghostbusters, which he tried not to think about the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and he thought about the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. Ergo, the mystery candy became the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and Paul Hollywood exploded because the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man formed inside the king cake. So, after Paul Hollywood, after the little bits of Paul Hollywood reformed,
all the king's horses and all the king's men put Paul Hollywood back together again.
After Paul Hollywood reformed via osmosis, he took a bite of the lingonberry tart, and he looked at the camera and he said, "Good crust." So Matt, you are our winner today on a near perfect bake of the jellyfish blingenberry tart. Congratulations to Matt for winning the very first Great Debate This Test Kitchen Bake Off Challenge featuring Paul Hollywood.
Woo! I'm gonna take my blingenberries and I'm gonna go home.
I'll give you each one last time for a quick 25-second confessional.
Oh, the Lucky Candy was just straight crack. It was crack cocaine with a little bit of confectioner's sugar in it. Everyone should really just sit
and some egg yolks to bind it all together.
It's actually whipped egg whites to make like a nice crystallized meringue. Everyone should just sit down and take a nap for a while. Like, you're gonna be all right, but you're gonna need some time.
Kyle, do you have anything you want to say to the producers?
We did our best. We did what we came to do, which was throw a little of the unknown, a little spice into this competition. And even though I'm disappointed that we lost, I wouldn't change anything. I'm happy to be here.
Perfect. Well, thanks everybody for listening in to Debate This. You all can follow along with the arguments on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at DebateThisCast, or visit our website at debatethiscast.com. If you like our shenanigans and want to support what we're doing, please consider telling a friend about the show. As you probably know already, podcasts are very much a word-of-mouth kind of thing. And so recommendations really are how we survive, get the word across. Also, if you like our stuff, go check out The Plus is Loose. It's a show where we talk about the MCU shows on Disney+. We just wrapped Hawkeye as of recording this a couple weeks ago. Hawkeye was a show that featured Marvel characters, is what I can say about that show. Until next time, I'm Andrew Henderson.
I'm Todd. Lucky Candy is brought to you in partnership with Activision Blizzard and Big Pharma. Thomas.
I'm Matt. Blingenberries and Creamy Bailey from a shoe. Cole.
And I'm Kyle. I Lingonberry, you Lingonberry, he, she, we Lingonberry, Harper.
And we're saying thanks for debating with us, and if you think we're wrong, you can come fight us behind the swing sets, nerds.